And we are continuing our GenCon coverage. We are here at the Final War booth, a tactical card game. I'm here with the designer, creator, Ben. Thanks for having us, Ben.
No worries, thanks for coming.
Can you give us a quick overview of Final Wars?
Sure, so Final War is a tactical card game where each player is controlling a warlord. On this initial release we have 3 warlords representing 3 factions. So we have a good elf, we have a chaotic werewolf, and we have a neutral guild master. The game itself is designed for 2, 3 or 4 players. We're just demoing the 2 players here. During the game the players set up an army using their player decks, and the player decks contain various types of cards. There's powers and units and spells, heroes, items.
It's very beautiful artwork so far, for sure.
Yeah, we did everything internally, so it's been a long time coming.
Nice job.
So during their setup phase, they'd be laying out various cards in various positions. But not every turn in this game actually results in combat. We like to call it a bit more of a role-playing card game.
Oh, cool. Okay.
During the course of the game, they're drawing from their player decks, but they're also drawing from a communal deck. The communal deck contains player-to-player combat cards, one of which is the Final War card, which will pit all players in a fight-to-the-death combat between their armies.
Okay.
But leading up to that, there may be minor skirmishes, there may be some bigger battles, they may be pulling up wandering monsters that can occur and come in and try to attack their army. So gorgons and giant trolls and...
Now these encounters will attack both armies?
No, they'll only attack the drawing player.
The drawing player. Okay.
And so the drawing player has to choose part of their army, one of their columns, to try to defeat the wandering monster.
Wow, that's that's a really interesting mechanic. So you're not just fighting one-on-one. Sometimes the deck will also force you to how to strategize best. Correct?
Absolutely. And sometimes games can end without any player-to-player combat because a player thinks he can take down a wandering monster, or is forced to if he hasn't got anything else to put up against it, and ends up having their warlord eaten by giant trolls or turned to stone by some nasty gorgons. The other player can also influence that fight by throwing down some of the add-to-hand benefit cards on behalf of the monsters, which can cause some serious problems for the opponent.
Very cool. Now, do you have a maximum hand size, or do you have to
as many as you can hold?
Okay.
So there's also no cost for deploying anything. So during their initial setup phase, they'll be laying out their army straight away, and then play will be proceeding after they roll their initiative. So the game is also dice moderated.
Okay.
So during the game, when they get into combat, they'll be trying to roll equal to or less than their power. There'll be various modifiers. There may be items, there may be fortifications, there may be other bits and pieces which are going to affect it. So basically, for example, for Tharis, he has attacked twice, so he'll be rolling 2 dice once he gets into combat, looking for a 7 or less, with each hit doing 1 point of damage, unless he has some modifier to affect it. Other creatures that might wander in may do more than that. So the Minotaurs, when they pop up, they're doing triple damage. The Treants here are doing triple damage against chaotics and double damage against neutrals. Inside the Fate deck, they may also find mercenaries. So mercenaries, if they turn up, can be hired to jump into your army if you've managed to pull up gold cards or other cards that you can use to hire them.
Okay.
If the drawing player doesn't hire a mercenary, the option goes to the opposing player.
Of course, they're mercenaries. They'll go to whoever has the coin.
But if neither player hires a mercenary, they go and sit in what we call our bandit pool over here. And then when a bandit unit is drawn, they'll actually come in and join the bandit in attacking.
They got to make a living somehow, right?
If you're not going to hire them, they're going to get your gold somehow. The Fate deck itself, here we're just showing the quick kill deck, but the Fate deck itself goes up to 50 cards. Okay. So the 12 card quick kill version takes about 10 to 15 minutes per round. It's designed to be played as the best 2 out of 3 with no reshuffling of the player decks in between. Okay. So at the end of the round, once somebody's won, all cards are discarded from hand and from the board, and the players draw more cards and they fight again. So at some point it actually becomes advantageous to try to be draining your opponent's deck if you realise that you're going to be losing.
Right.
And so, but in the bigger form of the game, the bandit pool can regularly grow to 5, 6, 7 creatures strong and can absolutely decimate an enemy army.
Okay.
So besides that, we end up with our Final War. So once Final War is drawn, they're in the duel to the death fight, and they'll duke it out until one player wins. In a 3 or 4 player game, everybody's in the fight, so it becomes a bit of a diplomatic battle where you try to convince them you are absolutely no threat, and then at the last second you jump in and backstab them.
Awesome.
So there's a lot to it besides just a straight player-to-player combat game.
Right, well, we got a couple of review copies for this, so stay tuned because Bored to Death will be showing you Final War tactical card game, how it's played. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot, Ben.
No worries, thanks very much.
Subscribe now to our channel to stay in the loop. If you like our work, help us continue by sharing the channel to your gaming group. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.